All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are off from break from the bombshell chapter of One Piece that we got 2 weeks ago. It's time to see what awaits us in today's chapter. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another One Piece chapter reaction and review. And seeing the chapter list here on Viz, we are not going on break, so we're getting a chapter next week. I can't wait to see what today's chapter is, because the last chapter gave us the closest look at the Gorosei that we ever gotten, which was a name reveal from these nameless leaders of the entire world that have been around for the past 20 years. Ever since they were introduced, and we're just now finding out of just one of their names, Saint J. Garcia Saturn. So, it's gonna be interesting to see what this chapter is, but it's good to see everyone here. Good to see you, Kohagen. Good to see you, Ogata-san. Good to see everyone here. It's a good day. It's a really good day. So let's go ahead and get started with today's chapter. And I'm gonna put this on one panel, I'm gonna put this only on one panel. Chapter 1074. Chapter 1074, Mark 3. Mark 3? Mark 3. Okay. Interesting title. Germa Double Six's an Emotionless Excursion, Volume 30. This whole side story for Germa has been going on for a while now. I feel like this has been the longest cover story that we've seen in One Piece. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this has been the longest we've seen a cover story continue on. I thought Gangbei, Oh My Family was gonna, or Beji, or Capone's Oh My Family was carrying on for a while, but this already hit like 30 cover stories thus far. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Germa Double Six's An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 30. 3 bitter rivals in the perpetual war to become number 2. And we have Caesar, Queen, and Judge all fighting each other and being, well, as the title says, bitter rivals to be the second to Vegapunk. Back in Mads. So, let's see what happens. Fabio Phase Egghead. Aren't you supposed to be Navy? Government weapons shouldn't be interfering with our work. You're taking out our own, says one of the CP members, but... Oh. What the heck? Okay, so one of these, it's a pacifista that looks like Kuma, PX3041. And one of the CP0 members tries to aim a bazooka at this pacifista that looks like Kuma, obviously. And a bubble comes up out of his hand. And he completely blocks the bazooka. He completely blocks the explosion. Like this bubble enveloped his hand and he whipped it around and it covered up in front of him and it completely blocked the bazooka shot. And he winds up repelling it. And then it shows the explosion happening as they're screaming, what powers are those?
It's a bubble shield! Vegapunk's invention, the ultimate protection!
I know what this is. Vegapunk invented something to replicate Kuma's perfect reflection of the pawpaw fruit. This just came to me because that's exactly what it looked like. It was like Kuma, but Kuma's pawpaw fruit, but instead of taking like an external bubble and shooting it out, he takes a paw bubble and envelops around his side. That's exactly what came to mind. He's replicating what he did.
It's a bubble shield! Vegapunk's invention, the ultimate protection!
Cease resistance and proceed to Factory Building B. Says Navy Science Team Battle Weapon Pacifista. Yo, it is a pacifista, but it's a pacifista, but it has like this extra shield of protection around it. It may not have the pawpaw fruit powers of Kuma, but it has its own special brand of reflective powers that Vegapunk has basically, I want to say, reversed engineered from Kuma. I could be talking out of the side of my neck right now, but that's just the closest thing that comes to mind. Lay down your arms, man, or we're all dead!
That's the far superior redesign of the prototypes developed at the Paramount War, the Pacifista Mark III!
So the Pacifistas we saw in the past were just prototypes. But PX3, the Mark III version, is the superior versions of the regular Pacifistas we see. They no longer look like Kuma with his regular clothes. They got full-on special great... Dude is channeling some serious Nemesis or Tyrant vibes right now. He has like a big overcoat that reaches down... trench coat that reaches down around him. Vegapunk is channeling some serious Nemesis / Tyrant Mr. X vibes right now. Naval Science Team Battle Weapon Pacifista.
Who's giving it orders? Pacifistas can't act on their own.
I'm taking you in. And then we get to the Fabrio phase. No, don't move! It'll make your injuries worse!
Heck of a vacation day. How's the Pacifista doing?
And it's Sentomaru! He's alive! And he's up and he's conscious.
How's the Pacifista doing?
Sounds like something's going on up there.
But the Frontier Dome's closed, and I can't get in contact with Punk.
Punk. I can't get in contact with Punk. Not Dr. Vega, but just Punk. That's the nickname. His name is Punk now. And then he thinks back, Sentomaru thinks back to when Luffy was in Gear 5 saying, "Don't worry, we'll take him off this island." And then it shows that the Denden Mushi that Sentomaru's trying to get in contact with everyone is on the fritz. Either they're being jammed or something has happened.
What worries me now is that the Navy keeps looping its communications to prevent us from getting updates.
Yep. It's a communication. They're being blocked.
To prevent us from getting updates. Guess I'm a rebel now, too. Then I might as well act like one. Pacifistas Mark III, deploy! All 50 of you!
Wow, there's 50 Mark III Pacifistas on Egghead. And Sentomaru's embracing his rebel role right now. Yo, they're not ready.
Straw Hat Luffy is going to take Dr. Vegapunk away on his ship. Your duty is to see them off safely.
Understood.
The Navy's acting fishy. Keep an eye on the horizon.
And then it cuts to some CP0, CP agents who are going, "Hey, wait, let us out!"
It's clear that something's about to happen on this island. Make sure your creator gets off this island alive.
And then it just has all of the Pacifistas, all the Mark IIIs just walking in a single file. They're just single file, just leaving. And their job, protect Vegapunk. What does that mean? What does that mean for the upcoming... There's going to be a fight. And if Kizaru gets involved... You ever get nervous and you just start scratching all of a sudden? I don't know what's about to happen. Labo phase, Egghead. What do you mean she's gone? She has to be somewhere in the lab. And then it cuts to Luffy, who's tired because he ran all over trying to find Bonnie.
No, I ran all over the dang place.
Luffy's hover boots broke, so he was running the whole time.
Don't rat me out. I don't have the allowance to pay for it.
And then it cuts to Chopper.
Where'd that old Apple Man go? Anyway? And Bonnie, too.
Bonnie is around.
Huh?
You can see the entire lab on the monitor here.
Mention that!
She's been here the whole time.
Mention that!
Like Luffy's all like, you ain't gonna tell nobody that you can see her? You ain't gonna tell nobody that she's right there? So he's already getting mad and upset that he basically just wasted his time running around and Shaka's been watching her. He basically just wasted his time running around looking for Bonnie. Yo! Oh! This place really is quite remarkable. It's like the future! Aren't we supposed to be setting sail? Yo! Zoro, Brook, and Stussy have become decked out in full Vegapunk gear. Zoro looks clean. Ooh, he looks so clean in full Vegapunk getup. And then Stussy says,
I want to see the Stella. What's happened to him?
and then Shaka, we're suffering two anomalies at the moment. Brace yourself for this. And then Usopp,
What? We're supposed to be taking Vegapunk off this island, right?
one is the disappearance of the Stella. The other is loss of control over the Frontier Dome.
What do you mean?
I mean that we are no longer able to leave the Labo phase.
Excuse me?
Oh wait, let me continue on. Hey, Atlas is okay. She's healed. Yay. Atlas is okay. Atlas is okay. Let me not read past this panel here. But one is the disappearance of the Stella. The other is loss of control over the Frontier Dome.
What do you mean?
And then it cuts to Edison and everyone and Luffy going,
Oh, her head's better now?
Luffy is still breathing hard because he ran all around the Labo phase trying to find and look for Bonnie. And then Edison says,
We've got replacement parts.
And then it shows, wow, it shows Frankie, Robin, and Nami watching over the currently apprehended Lucci and Kaku right now. Everyone else is chilling. Wow, okay. York is ginormous. Like, giant woman. CJ would like her now. But York? I thought York was like normal size. She is tall. She's just as tall as Atlas. To give you perspective of how tall York is, she towers over Brook. And Brook is the tallest person in the Straw Hat crew. He's like, 8 feet tall? York towers over him. She's probably like 10 or maybe even 11 feet. She's tall. And Sanji's just fawning over her. And then Zoro's just looking over at her. Though from his perspective, I'm wondering exactly where he's looking, because the only thing he'd probably be looking at is butt cheeks, butt cheeks, butt cheeks, butt cheeks. That's all I'd see. That's all I would see. Not opposed to the idea, but that's all I would see if I was looking up from Zoro's perspective, because he's in the background. Sanji's in the foreground. I mean that let me get back to the story. I mean that we are no longer able to leave the Labo phase.
Excuse me?
You can assume that if we try to get out, we'll be fried by lasers. That's true, but the man himself is currently missing. So what you can do to help is find the Stella. In the meantime, I'll figure out a way to repair the dome. And then Frankie.
Yeah, but what's the point of looking for Vegapunk if even your all-seeing monitors don't show him?
Normally, they would have a view of everything in the lab. However, after the damage the Seraphim caused earlier, the cam snails have either left their stations or lost consciousness. Therefore, I have the other satellites and workers inspecting the lab. He could have fallen unconscious outside of the cam snail's view. Shaka, this is Pythagoras! There's no one on the 3rd floor of Building C. I see. Next, you should check the...
And then it cuts to Nami, who goes, Come on, let's join the hunt. If we want to set sail, we'll need to find him. And any treasure.
Aha! I will accompany you, says Brook as he goes with Nami. And then Stussy.
I'll search as well. I'm concerned. Oh, let me tag along, Madam Stussy,
goes Sanji, obviously. And then Zoro goes, Guess I'll search too. We're looking for some old guy with his head chopped in two, you said.
Hold up, Mosshead. You searching for someone else? Who's going to go looking for you?
And then Chopper inside and says,
Yeah, you gotta stay here, Zoro!
Be a good boy, won't you?
Says Robin, because everyone knows that Zoro's sense of direction is horrendous. Yet, oddly enough, he was the first to arrive when everyone came back to Sabaody. Still trying to figure that out. And then it just cuts to Zoro, who's just chilling with Luffy, with Lucci, and Kaku just unconscious. He's just chilling. Don't even know what they're talking about, but I guess they can handle a little manhunt on their own. Jeez, How long were you running around at max effort?
I'm always max effort.
Can't believe we ran into these guys again. I haven't thought about Water 7 in ages. I hope Ice Guy's doing...
I haven't thought about Water 7 in ages. I hope Ice Guy's doing well.
Because Luffy's the only one who would call Iceberg Ice Guy. And then we cut to the paw room in the lab. And then we cut back to a child Vegapunk.
Don't touch it, Bonnie!
Shut up, get out of here.
Ah!
And then it cuts to... Yo... Bonnie's inside of Kuma's memories. And we see... And she looks over in the field and someone is crying.
What's the matter? Hey, kid.
I know who this is. This is a young Kuma. Because during, what was it? One Piece Film Z, during the credits, it showed some of the warlords and some of the characters when they were much younger. And one of these individuals was a young Kuma. This is a young Kuma, covered in scrapes and bruises, shivering and shaking and crying his eyes out.
Huh? Dad?
Come on!
Help me, I can't take it!
I found him! You get back there right now! If you escape, then they'll kill every last one of us!
I don't want to go back! Don't send me back to that horrible place!
Crying isn't going to solve anything, you enormous brat!
What is this? Why can't I get closer? Why can't I get a closer look?
Go back there!
Then kill me here instead! Why? You kill me here instead! Why bother going back? I'm just going to die anyway!
And then it cuts to these individuals who are trying to apprehend a young Kuma. And it cuts to one of them picking up a stick. Picking up a stick and just beating young Kuma. But Bonnie can't get close. It's like having that dream where you see something in the distance and you try to run towards it and you either can't move or it moves further away from you. Bonnie can't help but watch her father, as a child, get beat by these individuals.
Oh, I'm sorry! Help, it hurts! I'm sorry!
And then it also shows some individuals as well, including what looks to be the silhouette of potentially a celestial dragon, because it has a signature cowlick at the top of their head. And it cuts to a castle. I could be wrong, but it cuts to a castle location as well.
Stop! Help me!
And then Bonnie is just watching on in horror as she's watching her young father getting beat as a kid.
Just stop it.
And then Bonnie is launched outside of the memory bubble. And she's just left shaken as Kuma is doing his best to climb up the wall of Marijois. Now, to show you just how serious this is for Kuma, he's digging his fingers into the rock to the point where his fingertips are bleeding. I don't know why, but my respect for Kuma has grown considerably ever since he was freed from Marijois. And everything he's done thus far, he's showing everyone how much of an absolute unit he is. He's literally digging his fingers into the red line to climb it to the point where his fingers are bleeding. I repeat, Bartholomew Kuma is climbing the shoot him down! And then it cuts to Bonnie, who's just still huffing and puffing. And then she's just thinking as she's, wiping the tears from her eyes.
This isn't something I can bear unless I'm truly ready for it. But I can't move on unless I know the truth. Please, Dad.
As she reaches towards the memory bubble again. And then it cuts to Pythagoras inside of the lab as he's still searching for Vegapunk. It's ironic that they made such a mess of this place, considering the Seraphim were originally created here. Stella, where are you? And then something is clicking behind him, and he looks back and goes, huh? And then the area where apparently Pythagoras was explodes. Yo, Big News Morgans!
Look at that! An incredible scoop has just landed in my feathered lap. The world government is currently undertaking an assassination of the great Dr. Vegapunk. They're gonna kill the world's greatest mind. It's the Ohana incident all over again.
Oh my goodness, I love this man. I love this dude. One thing about Morgans is that he's a Zoan user who prefers to stay in his full bird form. He prefers to stay that. We've never seen the human form of Morgans before, but the dude is just chilling. I love this guy. He's gonna, oh my goodness. Morgans is the whistleblower for the world government. How is he getting this information? How does he know that CP0 was sent to kill Vegapunk? How does he know? And this dude is gonna put it, I know this dude. This dude would rather print out the truth than keep it hidden. I would not be surprised if he tries to put out that the world government has the greatest mind, tries to have the greatest mind to assassinate. I gotta read it. I love Big News Morgans! Woo! This is really big news! And I get to use my news announcer voice as well. The world government is currently undertaking an assassination of the great Dr. Vegapunk. They're gonna kill the world's greatest mind. It's the Ohana incident all over again. But the government's picked the wrong fight this time. Vegapunk's a beloved figure, the man whose energy development brought light to every town in the world. And with him just happens to be this guy, as he puts up a poster of Luffy. How does Morgans know? How does he know Luffy's there? How does he know that Luffy's there? Let me pull this up so you can see my eyebrows. How does he know that Luffy's there? So here's our front page. Straw Hat Luffy, Emperor of the Sea, wages all-out war with Navy at Egghead, holding Vegapunk hostage. The government should be very grateful, and I'll need you to collect their gratitude in liquid cash. Yes, sir! What a preposterous excuse for... And then someone says, what a preposterous excuse for a story. Wait a minute. The person who says what a preposterous excuse for a story is Vivi. I have several questions. Excuse me, sir. I have several questions. You need to answer them right now. What? What? I need a moment to process this real quick.
What a preposterous excuse for a story. Luffy would never do something like that. This is why I hate the World Economic Journal.
And it cuts to Princess of Alabasta, Nefertari Vivi. Vivi is with Morgans. She's okay. She's with Morgans. Out of everyone, she's with Morgans. What is Vivi doing there? And who else is also with Vivi? Then Wapol! Wapol is there with Vivi and Morgans. Why are they there? I gotta read through the rest of this panel real quick. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Why? Okay.
Luffy would never do something like that. This is why I hate the World Economic Journal.
And then it cuts to some of the girls in the background who are going,
those are my clothes. I'll never wash them again.
Because, Vivi's wearing some of their clothes inside of the, news balloon. And then it cuts to Wapol.
Hey, keep your voice down. What if there's a wiretapping transponder snail and the government learns we're here? They're going to whack us next.
King of Evil Black Drum Kingdom, Wapol.
And don't talk back to Morgy. He's the one hiding us here in the first place.
And then it cuts to Morgan's.
Bah! You were bawling your eyes out yesterday, little girl. Don't tell me how to do my job. This is the newsroom of the world, and I'm the mover and the shaker. It's not about fact or fiction. It's about what sells. News is the biggest entertainment of all, baby.
Yo. So Morgan's will put what'll sell papers, what'll grip people. That's always how Morgan's has been.
It's not about fact or fiction, it's about what sells. News is the biggest entertainment of all, baby.
Oh, him and Alistair from Has Been Hotel would absolutely hit it off. And that's the end of the chapter. Yo, Vivi's okay. Yo, that's the end of the chapter. We need to talk. We need to talk about this. Remember, Wapol was contacting Morgan's back at the end of Act 2 in Chapter 956. Dude, your memory for all of this is absolutely impeccable. Because I didn't even remember that. Now, let me go back and say hi to everyone. Neil Johnson, good to see you. Ozzy, good to see you as well. Whew. Now we gotta pray Garcia doesn't control them. 5 watching, but only 4 likes. Scandalous. I knew there was something I liked about Sentomaru. Obviously, you like the haircut. Sub-Q was good. Yo, Looney, good to see you as well. Think Sentomaru prefers to call it to the legend, but yes. And as usually, Simp Smokes Sanji. That's his new nickname. Robin trying to stop Nami from crushing Lucci's precious assets is hilarious. Like, she was preparing to just stomp out both Lucci and Kaku right then and there. And I'm like, calm down. She was, too. She was, because you see, like, the little sweat bubble that pops up when people are getting, like, nervous or are like, in different animes and stuff. She's trying to, wow, Rock, Nami was actually about to stomp out both Lucci and Kaku's business. She actually was about to stomp them in the junk, really. Nami, calm down. She's become more ruthless ever since Egghead started. Can we say that? She's become far more ruthless. Like, we'll just kill Vegapunk now. Yeah, let's kill him. He's dead weight anyway. Now you want to stomp out both Kaku and Lucci? You do a great Brook voice? Well, thank you, Neil. Night-night, Lucci and Kaku. Night-night. Kuma's backstory is about to be a tearjerker. Dude, we see a child Kuma being beaten and dragged back to wherever he was, which means Kuma climbing the red line in order to exact a little revenge on the celestial dragons, the slaves forcing other slaves back into slavery is pretty dark. I'm gonna die anyway. I think Kuma might have been part of child gigantification experiments like Caesar tried to do on Punk Hazard. Big news, even Big News Morgans gets a cameo in the Egghead art. You love to see it. 1940s news radio voice is awesome for Morgans, but knowing Morgans, he's gonna put his spin on the story. Then Vivi. Don't let facts get in the way of a good story. Yo, Anime All Day TV. Yo to you as well. Grape stomping party. Aiming for the berries. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So, let's not also overlook the fact that something has happened to Pythagoras. Someone else is in the lab with them. And what appears to be, they've blown up the area where Pythagoras was searching. So someone else is in that lab. We don't know who, but someone else is in there. And they potentially just blew up Pythagoras. Also, the communications across all of the lab are being constantly looped so that they can't get in contact with anyone. Matter of fact, let's do this. And then I just got Jujutsu Kaisen after this, and then I'm free the rest of the day. I'm going to relax a little. And look forward to playing Dead Space tomorrow. Oh, I can't wait. But we need to look into this real quick. 1074. All right, here we go. Not only that, but we also got our first look at a new type of pacifistas. Now, the Seraphim are not the replacement for the pacifistas. They're the replacement for the warlords. The pacifistas are still fine. So if anyone thought that the Seraphim were going to be the new pacifistas, like I did a while back, but they're just there to replace the spot where the warlords were. So they're essentially the warlords again, but they have the power of pacifistas and even more power than they ever had before. Enough to clash evenly with Blackbeard to the point where he has to use armament hockey to defend himself. But we get a new look at a new batch of pacifistas called Mark IIIs, and they're basically just like giant Mr. X's. It very well could be Kizaru and Jay Garcia Saturn. I would not be surprised, because the moment I saw that explosion, I thought, I really hope Kizaru is not on here. I really hope Kizaru is not already in the lab, because if he's just casually walking and he's just blasting everything, it's gonna be hard to fight this dude, especially if he moves at light speed. And we still haven't seen everything that Kizaru could do. We still haven't. But let me go through the summary. If there's a traitor, my first guess is Shaka with the help of S Flamingo and S Crocodile under his command. We still don't know how many other S Seraphims there are. We still don't know how many S types there are, because we got Hancock, Jinbei, Kuma, and so far Mihawk. So we don't know how many others he has, but we have to see. But going through this, all the keynotes here, a group of 50 Mark III pacifistas attack the remaining Cypherpol agents. Sentomaru is revealed to have partially recovered and has activated the pacifistas, ordering them to protect the Straw Hats and Vegapunk at all costs. This is literally the same moment where Kuma was given an order to protect the Sunny while the Straw Hats were away for 2 years. That's just one dude. Plus, with the help of, what is his name? Duval? I think his name is Duval. The dude whose face got messed up because of Sanji. That was just Kuma, along with some members of Duval's gang, defending the Sunny until the Straw Hats return. Now, we're getting more pacifistas being ordered to not only to protect the Straw Hats, but to protect Vegapunk, but protect the Straw Hats as well. So it's going to be the same moment of a pacifista protecting something that has to do with the Straw Hats, but times 50. Because 50, count them, 50 Mark III pacifistas have been given the order to protect the Straw Hats and Vegapunk so they can escape. One pacifista has already shown that it can do everything that a regular pacifista can do, but now it has its own special brand shield that is capable of just basically deflecting things, which Vegapunk invented. I feel like Shaka is the only one who can't be the traitor. We'll have to see. The fact that we're not going on break from this? Stussy joins Brook and Zoro to the control tower, where the rest of the Straw Hats are located, and they also get that Vegapunk fit, too. Atlas is shown to have been fixed. Yay, good moment. Shaka claims that Egghead's defenses are unresponsive, preventing them from leaving. Shaka claims to have found Bonnie on the security footage, but not Vegapunk. As everyone else leaves the control tower to look for Vegapunk or repair the damage, Luffy and Zoro stay behind with the unconscious Lucci and Kaku. Bonnie witnesses a memory of a young Kuma being abused by other people. Pythagoras is attacked by an unknown individual, and an explosion occurs. Nefertari Vivi is revealed to be with Wapol, both being in Morgan's airship. Morgans has sheltered the two of them from the world government for unknown reasons, and Morgans decides to publish news that Luffy has taken Vegapunk hostage, even though he knows what's going on. That's the crazy thing. Morgans knows what's going on Vegapunk. He knows about the world government coming to assassinate Vegapunk because of what he knows, though he doesn't know anything about whether it's the Void Century or not. He just knows that the world government has come to kill Vegapunk. And then he also realizes that Luffy and his entire crew is there as well. How is Morgans getting all of this information? And he's prepared to print it right now. But he wants to spin the truth just a little bit because, that it sells, because it simply sells. He's not a paragon of truth in making sure that the truth gets out there, but he's also not the type to let things be hidden away from the people if it has potential to sell papers. So he's willing to put the world government on blast if it can really sell stuff, but he also wants to remain in business. So he's not going to go as far as say like, oh, the world government has come there to kill Vegapunk, because the world government wouldn't be paying him anymore. He knows the truth. That's scary. That is scary. That is scary how Morgans knows the truth, and yet he chooses to twist it a little simply because he still wants to get paid. Make sure that the world government pays us in liquid cash. As Crocodile is going to be set after Vivi, as Law, feel like Shaka is the only one who can be the traitor. Kizaru is sadly bodying every single Mark III. Because here's the thing. I don't want to say that Kizaru is just going to one-shot every single person there, but the fact that we've never seen the fullest extent of what Kizaru can do with his light-based Logia powers, which have been shown to be incredibly powerful. This man has never used his hands to fight except using the Amano Murakumo. That's it. And that's only clashing with Rayleigh. But he's never used his hands in a way to physically fight. He'll only just lift his hands up to blast people. That's it. He's only ever used his legs. And we've never seen this man go all out in a fight. Matter of fact, we've never seen this dude behave any way other than completely absent-minded and lackadaisical. That's the scary thing. Because with Aokiji, we've seen him be like frustrated or angry or even surprised. We've seen Akainu be frustrated, angry, very angry, increasingly angry, furiously angry. Every other emotion you could think of except for, calm. But Kizaru has kept the same type disposition ever since he's been revealed as a character. And that's the scary thing, because the individual you can't read is the one you should fear the most. The one who you can't read is the one you should fear the most. Akainu, he'll get so angry that he'll lose sight of things. That's how he got bodied by Whitebeard. Aokiji, he can get caught up in the moment. Even though he's level-headed, he can get caught up in the moment sometimes. That's how he got sidekicked by Marco before he could stab into Luffy during the Paramount War. These are two individuals whose emotions can kind of like distract them. But Kizaru, this dude is so nonchalant with everything. Matter of fact, he's the one who did the most damage to Whitebeard he did the most damage. I wouldn't say he did the most damage because you got Akainu who, punched 2 full holes in his chest. But Kizaru is the only one to go toe-to-toe with Whitebeard and leave it unscathed. He's the only one to leave that entire war without a single scratch. So I'm scared of this man. Out of all the admirals, I am scared of him. Simply because he could be so casual with you, and then next thing you know, you see that size 15 white shoe go across your face, and you get sent flying 5 miles out, and then he just appears right in front of you and blasts you with a full-on laser. He could do that, because that's just what he could do. Simply just a thought in mind. So if Kizaru is in that lab, we need everybody on high alert. But I feel like the only people that could actually make a difference are the people who know hockey. If you got people fighting Kizaru and they don't know hockey, they're dead. They're dead. I'm not concerned with Kizaru fighting Luffy. It's the escape that matters more, since he almost sank Law's submarine back in Marineford. And Akainu blew half of Whitebeard's face off. Yeah. I had to go back and I thought about it the moment I said it. But Kizaru, I meant to say that Kizaru was the only one to go against Whitebeard and come out of it without any damage. Akainu was the one who did the most physical damage to Whitebeard, both him and Blackbeard and his crew. But I'm concerned with Kizaru being there because he's unpredictable. We still need to figure out why the defenses of the Labo phase are still up. That's not allowing all of them to leave. We need to find out who this individual is that's making their way on into the lab and possibly blew up Pythagoras. What's going to become of Lucci and Kaku? And then we got Bonnie living through the memories of Kuma, seeing him as a child. It'd be seriously messed up if we see Kuma as a child, because we've seen what happens when children are taken from the celestial dragons that have been branded to be slaves. We've seen that with Koala, with her growing up, with her being liberated by Fisher Tiger. But we've never seen a child living the life of being a slave for a celestial dragon. We've seen the effects of a child living with a celestial dragon due to the fact that when Arlong wanted to manhandle and beat on Koala as a child, she felt it for a little bit, and then she, like as if brainwashed, woke back up and took it because that's simply all that she knew. But we've never seen a child being subjected to the torture that is being a slave to a celestial dragon before. It'll be messed up if we see Kuma living that life with his memories, with Bonnie seeing that. Because if anything else, this is probably going to propel Bonnie down a path that'll make her want to take out all the celestial dragons just because of what they did to her dad. But if we see Kuma and we see his history, where he's living as a child under the thumb of the celestial dragons, if that is indeed who he's being dragged back to, I mean, it goes without saying, people will hate the celestial dragons even more. But the way Kuma is right now, we still don't know his objective. He's climbing up the red wall, forcibly, digging his fingers into the red wall itself just to get up to the top again for reasons unknown. But this man is not stopping. This man is a literal Terminator in every sense of the word. And nothing has been able to fully stop him from climbing that wall. But why is another question altogether. So we'll just have to see what happens in the next chapter. I keep saying this to everyone. I keep saying this, and I just feel like where we are right now for One Piece, we are in such uncharted territory that anything that happens in a chapter is a surprise. We have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. And that sort of unpredictability is why I love this series so much. But let me not keep you here any longer than I already have. I got to do my reaction to Jujutsu because there's some questionable things happening in there that we need to talk about. So this will be it for my reaction for One Piece today. So to everyone here, I really hope you all enjoyed. And if you're watching the Super Bowl, let me know if there's any good movie trailers that pop. Hopefully we'll get something new, because apparently Sony is teasing something for PlayStation during the Super Bowl, during like the commercials and everything. Hopefully we'll get something Spider-Man related. I really hope we get something Spider-Man related, even though they showed something for God of War. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All I can say to everyone here is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share the stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. I'm not saying that Spider-Man is going to show up, but it would be nice if Spider-Man had like maybe even a small promo, considering that Sony is going to have like some sort of commercial for PlayStation during the time. But yeah, later, peoples. On to Jujutsu Kaisen!